God, a perspective on our faith. Pope Francis has died. People are mourning. Prayers are being made everywhere for his soul to enter heaven, where believers believe there is only good. But why are they praying? If he, the most exalted representative of God on earth, still needs prayers to enter heaven, who among us can be sure? Have you ever wondered if the Pope himself, in his final moments, still carries the humility and concern of a human being before the mystery of the afterlife? The question is not only where his soul will go but, more deeply, whether the way we understand God, and the image we give him, truly reflects his absolute nature.
God, if he exists, is not necessarily a metaphysical being present outside the universe, but can be the existential foundation that encompasses everything. In the view of some schools, such as apotheotic theology, God cannot be named and cannot be described in human language or images. He can be felt through the air, plants, flowers, and seemingly opposite things, good and evil, birth and death. People often call him God, Father, or Almighty. But if God is an absolute entity, then giving him a name only reflects the limits of human language. We can call him the sky, plants, all things. He does not necessarily reside in the clouds, is not limited by the human merit and sin system, and does not punish or bestow grace. In my view, God is the first principle, the foundation for all things to operate, change, and exist freely. He does not control and does not need to prove. He just is, as an infinite space where all beings can freely become themselves. This concept is similar to panentheism. God is present in all things but not identical with them, or the concept of Tao in Tao Te Ching, where all things arise without being controlled. God is the absolute model not because he is superior or powerful, but because he allows all to exist, even when the universe doubts him. The philosopher Spinoza once affirmed, "Deus sed natura, God is nature." Or as Lao Tzu wrote, "The great Tao flows like water, nurturing all things without competing." The idea of a God who does not intervene, does not judge, but only silently preserves all existence, is a thread of thought that runs through many great philosophies. On the contrary, Kierkegaard, the existentialist philosopher and Christian, once said that faith is a leap into the abyss, a choice in absolute solitude before a God beyond reason. However, both Kierkegaard and Spinoza agree that the structure of human thought does not limit God. The absolute God lays in tolerance. No thought, emotion, choice, or life is excluded from his realm of existence. God does not need anyone to believe because his existence does not depend on human belief. He does not demand obedience because his power comes from control and permission. He does not close the door to you. As some Buddhist or Taoist concepts have said, the door is just an illusion created by the mind. God does not create boundaries or require you to kneel or stand up. He allows you to exist, exactly as you are, even if you do not believe in his existence. We often talk about God, but most of it is just a projection of limited human understanding. Where does his core nature lie if God is truly beyond all human concepts and images? Perhaps, as existential philosophy suggests, it is the freedom for you to exist in your way. God does not punish or reward because in him, good and evil are two relative expressions of the same flow of existence. He does not need laws because all constraints are the product of human beings trying to control each other. In his frame of reference, wrong is not rejected because wrong is the premise for right to be recognized. So why punish those who help us recognize the truth? Rather than being a metaphysical entity, the devil can be seen as a symbol of human disorder and error. When people blame God for not destroying the devil, it only shows their desire for a pure world, but they fail to realize that without darkness, there is no place for light to shine. The true greatness of God lies not in thunder or obedience, but in the quiet observation of each living being. If you ever ask, am I allowed to disbelieve? Am I allowed to go beyond all definitions of God? A true God, if he exists, will not be angry. He will quietly pave the way, just as the universe paves the way for us to discover ourselves.
God is absolutely free, allowing every living being to perceive him in their own way. Some people see him as an all-powerful deity. Others see him as a silent wind. Some people will never know him. But in all of these choices, God excludes no one. He does not need worship, nor does he reject it. Loyalty does not make him stronger, and opposition does not make him weaker. It is transcendental in nature, beyond all the dualities that human thought has created. In other words, in its absolute nature, the true God does not interfere with you. Therefore, you can choose to be wrong, or you can choose to transcend all constraints and become who you want to be. God exists in that absolute freedom, where there are no doors, rules, fears, or expectations. God exists.